So this is a weekend video. We're going to be comparing three companies in this video. We're going to be comparing Harley-Davidson, Arcimoto, and Solo Electrameccanica. Why? Because both those companies are very similar to Harley-Davidson. They have different vehicles, but they are still very single-purpose vehicles, except for Arcimoto. Arcimoto can carry at least one more passenger in the back, so it's like a two-seater vehicle. And Solo is single seat, while while motorcycles are usually meant for one person. I mean, you could fit another person in the back, but it won't be super comfortable, and you would need to be basically carrying two motorcycle helmets around with you. So it's not a very convenient thing to basically have, because in order to carry somebody else in the back of a motorcycle, you would basically need to carry two helmets around with you all the time if you're expecting to have another passenger. But most of the time, people cannot, usually 99% of the time, 90% of the time, motorcycles are driven by itself, like the Solo. The Solo is, you're forced to drive by yourself. But as I'm making this video, the market is red. This is Tuesday, October 27th, 2020. I don't know what the market is going to do for the next 3 days of trading. I'm thinking that Wednesday is going to be red, Thursday is going to be volatile, Friday is definitely going to be a red day. Good day to short stocks. But the one interesting thing about Friday is on Thursday, after the market closes, we are going to have earnings report from major companies. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Google, Twitter. There's going to be so many different earnings report on that day, so it's going to be interesting. So what could happen is Wednesday could be red. I know Wednesday is going to be red because it's already red, and then Thursday could be red, and then Friday could be green because of all the earnings that are coming out on Thursday night. We'll see though. We'll see. But if we quickly, first thing I did for Harley-Davidson was check out YouTube to see if anybody's talking about Harley-Davidson, and Jim Cramer said Harley-Davidson is not a buy, and this was made on June 1st, 2020. And he was so wrong, because Harley-Davidson came out with awesome earnings and the stock popped. So I'm going to play the video and then I'll talk more about it.
Let's go to Chuck in Florida. Chuck!
Booyah, Professor Kramer. This is Chuck in Florida, long-time listener, second-time caller.
Glad that you're here.
My question is about HOG, Harley Owners Group.
No, I don't like the demo. It's the demographic that matters. Demographic is mine. And that's too old. Okay, let's go to Jana and...
Excuse is that only older people like Harley-Davidsons and not the younger generations. And that's why he says not a buy. That's hilarious. But with this whole pandemic going on, I mean, they're doing okay. And the stock popped, so he was absolutely wrong, because the stock was trading at $22.73. Now on October 27th, it's trading at $35. So yeah, he was completely wrong. Because the stock went up as soon as he made that video on September 25th. When was this video? June 1st. Yeah, around here. So it popped, fell in September, popped back up in October, and then skyrocketed right after earnings. And they are a very niche market because you need to have a motorcycle license. They are extremely dangerous, and they are one-purpose vehicle, and you can't drive them in the winter. You can't really drive them in the rain. and you can only drive them on the perfect day. And if you were to drive them on hot weather, you are crazy. You're gonna be so dehydrated because it's, you know, hot out. I probably wouldn't want to drive a motorcycle in hot weather. Probably in nice cool weather, like, you know, in the 20s or in the 30s is okay, but anything past 30 degrees Celsius is too hot for me. I go insane just being outside. Anything above 30. So, you know, but yeah, so that's why it's a very niche market. Very niche. But it still sells. Still make $1 billion. And, you know, the stock still went up. So, and then Solo, you would have to consider Solo in the same camp as Harley-Davidson. They also a single-purpose vehicle, but you can drive them in the rain. You can kind of drive them in the winter. And you can also drive them in hot weather. So, it's much better than a Harley-Davidson, in my opinion, and they probably cover the same mileage. I mean, Electrameccanica can probably go. They're capable of going 100 miles, and I'm assuming a motorcycle is capable of running at least 100 miles too before you have to fill up the tank with more gas. Charge it up if it's an electric motorcycle, because you can't really fit a big battery on there or a big gas tank in a motorcycle. Harley-Davidson, so they had earnings not too long ago. Their net income rose 38%, $120 million. Surprised everyone because analysts were expecting 21 cents. And their revenues did fall to 900 and almost less than $1 billion from $1.07 billion a year earlier. And the stock skyrocketed. So yeah, and you know, and I really don't think a lot of, because if you do a Google research, you know, you see that, you know, not a lot of people talk about the stock. Like Clay Trader Video Charts made a video on it. Only 34 people watched it in the last 4 hours. So obviously there's not a huge amount of investor base. You know, this guy's talking about that dividend thing 7 months ago, only 485 views. This guy made a video on it, 155 views. So, no CNBC video besides Jim Cramer saying it's not a buy. And the stock still popped anyway. So, you know, this $6.40 movement is almost $1 billion of value in basically 1 day of trading. And I really don't think that retail investors are the cause of it. I don't think retail investors are looking at it like, oh, look, they flipped the profit. Time to buy the crap out of it. No, I really don't think so, because, you know, I just don't think that's how retail investors think. They get hyped up by YouTube videos and then they start buying, and then that would cause the stock price to go up. But I don't think they pay attention to the earnings. And if we look, right, if we just look on the forums, look at that, 5 likes, 1 like, 3 likes, 2 likes, 3 likes, 7 likes. Obviously there's not very many investors on this forum. Not very many investors are looking at this. This is being pushed up by bots and billionaires, or really rich people, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, Solo, you know, $205 million market cap. I think it could be. I think, you know, once they get their production ramped up, I think the market could value this thing at $1 billion. Could. No, even if they generate tens of millions of dollars of revenue, I don't think, you know, the market might not care, and the stock might just sit here at $2 forever. That's a big possibility too. So, just letting you know that that's a possibility. But if it was to be $1 billion right now, the market the stock price would be around $12.50, because they have diluted shareholders. So that's just the scenario. But hey, $2 to $10, you're still laughing. That's a really nice return on investment. If the stock went to $1 and it went to 10, ooh, that is a really big turn in your investment. So there's always a possibility it can go down to $1. I'm holding this long term regardless. Arcimoto actually looks really nice right now at $5.79. It's going back to its 52-week low. Or not 52-week low. The 52-week low is like $1 something, right? You would have made so much money if you bought this at $1 and sold it at $8. So much money. Could Arcimoto be a really big winner in the future? Sure, but could it also go back to $1? Absolutely. So it's risk versus reward. If Arcimoto goes back to $1, Solo is probably gonna go back to $1 in my opinion. Just before I go, I found this article kind of funny. Wanted to point that out, but that's it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe for future updates and have a great day. Bye.